You're live. Hey, everybody, what's up? Bobby Duncan here. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. 1966, Summer of Sam? I don't know. My red notebook. Did I add anything? Probably not. Let's see. What's today? It is 3:20 p.m. Today is the 17th, Saturday, the 17th of August. It's red, so that means I'm sucking on a watermelon and Jolly Rancher. Got a bunch in the bag. They're all blue raspberry and watermelon, but whatever. Nobody's here, of course, because I just started going live, and I have like 72 subscribers, so I don't expect them to actually know when I do go live. Plus, it's just random when I do. It was literally either come on live or just play Just Cause 2 for like the millionth time. I've beaten on every level except for expert level, and I've beaten it like 5 times on each level. I've tried playing I own through the Xbox Marketplace, I own it, Just Cause 3. Don't really like it very much. I have Just Cause 4 on disc, and I have Just Cause 4 digital. And I have it on disc because I'm offline. So I'm offline, off grid. It costs money to download shit. So when you're off grid, offline, sometimes it's easier to get the disc. Just Cause 4 is decent, but after a while, I felt like I was playing Overlord because they let you have like 4 or 5 different things at the same time. And you could choose drones that have machine guns and then drones that shoot RPGs. So you have like 3 drones with machine guns and 3 drones of RPGs. And you just walk around and they follow you and they kill everything that's bad. And you're just like, hi, sucks to be. So, I mean, after a while, you're effectively on God mode. I wonder if I should just play Just Cause 2 and put the camera at it. Yeah. I see Chip. I see 2 Chip because I was fucking breaking up a fight between my dog and a pit bull. And the pit bull fucking headbutted me in the mouth. Cracked my tooth, chipped my tooth. Not gonna face it? Fuck no. You got some money? Give me some money. And give me a ride to the dentist's office and then give me a ride home. And you know what? While we're at it, go ahead and give me a fucking Taco Bell motherfucking, it's not a grande meal anymore. Now it's like a party pack. We're going to add 2 more and call it a party pack. Bitch, please. Horse pill, bitch. That comes from a lifetime of fucking swallowing Ritalin. Yeah. That Jolly Rancher was at half, and I was tired of it. I didn't want to spit it out. Yeah, I swallowed a fucking not even half a Jolly Rancher. It was probably 2/3. Well, let's put it at 55%. Dude, I wrote this shit down once upon a time. You know what I mean? Wrote it down. Okay. 6 a.m. I got to wake up, take 5 milligrams quick active or quick response and 20 milligrams long active. 9 o'clock a.m., 5 more milligrams quick response or quick dissolve, quick response, whatever. And then another 20 milligrams long active. 11:30 in the morning. This is now lunchtime for me, generally speaking, elementary school, junior high, high school. I always had like the first lunch, which was like 11:30, 11:35. So 11:30. They want me to take 10 milligrams quick response and another 20 milligrams long active. And that's just lunch. So every single day before lunch, I have consumed 20 milligrams, or I'm sorry, I have consumed 60 milligrams of long active Ritalin and now 20 milligrams of quick response, quick active Ritalin. Now, the difference between the two, the 20 milligrams long active is kind of like Tylenol, extra strength, or even Excedrin, where it's got a really thick coating, so it takes your stomach a while to break down the coating before the pill starts to dissolve and do its magic. With the 5 or 10 milligrams quick, I call it quick response. It was quick something, like quick action or quick rapid dissolve, something like that. Those, they don't have coating. That's the medicine just pressed together into a pill form, and you got to swallow it as fast as humanly possible because it's dissolving on your tongue, it's dissolving in water, it's dissolving in your throat on the way down. You feel it dissolving in your stomach. It's not fun, and and that's much more of like, it's kind of like the difference between getting a pill and then getting a shot. Sometimes there's a shot form of that pill, and when you get a shot, it's a direct injection. The quick response is this similar thing where it's like, let's hurry up, let's dissolve the pill, let's get immediate response, immediate results, quick results. Maybe that's what it meant. Oops, sorry, I was shaking my knee. 1 p.m., 5 milligrams quick response, 20 more milligrams long active. 3:30 when I got home, and it's now time to do homework. 10 milligrams quick response, 20 more milligrams long active. 6 p.m. when most people are eating dinner, they want me to take 5 more milligrams quick response and yet another 20 milligrams long active. That means when I woke up in the morning and I was supposed to eat my 2 packages of oatmeal and take my 2 pills, bam, that's 6 a.m. Then at 9 a.m., there's my second dose of pills, Ritalin. They were all Ritalin. This was back in early 90s. So 9 a.m., when most kids are settling down and figuring out what they're doing before lunch, whatever subject that might be, I have to drop everything and go into the nurse's office and take more medication. 11:30, again, that's only 2.5 hours later. Drop everything, go into the nurse's office, take more medication. My therapist and psychiatrist and psychologist, family therapist, family psychologist, family psychiatrist, all of these people that were part of Kaiser Permanente, they all had records of each other, and they all knew the left hand was doing and the right hand knew what the right hand was doing and left and all of that stuff. They all knew everything. The problem was my mother. You see, a lot of times the trained physician on duty or the trained professional would tell my mom flat out to her face, why don't you just stop being a shitty parent? I mean, you have another son and you don't seem to have problems with him. You have a daughter and you don't seem to be having problems with him. So why are you having problems with this one? And everything you're saying completely flies in the face of reality. She would say that I couldn't sit still. And yet here I am in a psychiatrist's office for over an hour, sitting absolutely still. I was daydreaming, but that's not the point. I was able to daydream. She told us the psychiatrist or whatever, that I'm not able to focus. I've been able to focus long enough to have an hour-long daydream as you sit there talk to the psychiatrist. So maybe the problem is you, mother. And she didn't like that. And she was non-confrontational. So she would hustle the prescription for even more Ritalin from that trained professional, get the prescription filled, go home, get on the phone, call Kaiser Permanente, and launch a bunch of complaints to them, and how she was mistreated and saying things like that in front of me. I'm easily impressionable. And she didn't like that they were calling her a bad mother, and it all became a thing. So the next week, the next appointment, that trained professional, psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, family psychiatrist, family psychologist, whatever you want to, whatever they were no longer the person I was seeing. It's on to the next person. And the next person, they want to get to meet me. So now there's an orientation. So I'm going to these therapists once a week, twice a week, sometimes even 3 times a week. But because they kept saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, which is, why don't you stop buying shit on QVC? Why don't you stop worrying about what's happening with all my children? Why don't you fucking stop doing these things, which are self-indulgent, and actually step up to the plate and be a mother? And on to the next therapist. And the next therapist wants to get to know me. So we're going to spend 30 minutes with Bobby and 30 minutes with Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad, can you go wait out in the lobby? And my mom and dad are coming in next. You think I'm actually going to open up and tell you the truth? Fuck no. You now have something to talk about. No. I'll go wait in the lobby for 30 minutes. You could call me after them, and then I know that they're not going to talk to you alone without me, so I feel more comfortable in opening up. My mom saw right through that and would take up the whole fucking hour, and the therapist is like, I'm really sorry. I know you're here to see me, and I'm here to see you, but your mom took up all the time, and I promise next week. And next week, the exact same thing would happen. And so after about 3 visits of one therapist, it actually makes it through the freaking cracks. And the therapist goes, hey, I don't want to deal with them anymore because I can't even talk to the son. And I get dropped. So on to the next therapist. So, and then, 6 p.m. I'm about to eat dinner and you want me to take Ritalin? What the fuck are you thinking? Truth of the matter is, and this is God's honest truth, I had teachers that, again, we're talking about 89 and then all the way through the 90s. I had teachers that had 35 students to one teacher, and then they had me. I was the kid that had the desk that was pushed up against the teacher's desk. I was the kid who had the desk that was in the corner surrounded by file cabinets. I was the kid who struggled to make it a whole day through school. I don't think I actually made it a whole day through school until I got to like junior high. So, it was being a bully, fighting bullies, talking back, just not tolerating shit. Especially if I knew I was right or thought I was right, I would fight you tooth and nail. I didn't care if you were an adult or a student. I always fought for what I believed in, marched to the beat of my own drum, all that. And then I had a dad who wanted to be a cop and a mom who wanted to spend his money before she even got to it. We lived off of coupons, ground beef, and whatever meal can be made in 20 minutes or less. And my brother and sister were genuinely planned for, wanted, mapped out and everything. And I am the oldest, and I was the transition between a booty call and, oh shit, she's pregnant, I guess I gotta marry her. Now, they can say whatever they want to say, but truth of the matter is, I was born in July, and my parents were married in November. And I am older than their anniversary for exactly August, September, October, 3 months. But they could claim whatever they want to claim. That's fine. I don't really give a shit. What's done is done. And there's a reason I haven't talked to him in 25 years. Well, that's a lie. I did contact Dad when my son was born 5 years ago saying, hey, congratulations, you're going to be a grandfather. Do you want me to push this button and we could go to video chat? He said, that's nice. I got things to do, and hung up on me. So, there's that. So 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3:30 p.m., 6 p.m. So that's 6. Sign language. You go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I took 6 different times I took pills. I always had 20 milligrams long active, which meant that even between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., it wouldn't wear through my system because Ritalin stays in your system for an amazingly long time. That's what I was getting at. So I had teachers that were overwhelmed by the amount of students that they were supposed to teach. That's how the 90s was, especially in California, between Sacramento and San Francisco in Solano County, where I grew up. So the teachers kept saying, put Bobby on Ritalin, or we're going to go to the Unified School District and we're going to push for him to get expelled. And the reason was because they acknowledged I needed special independent attention. And by doing that, that would allow me to go to charter schools, or I guess religious schools, or continuation schools. I could go to other schools. But the way the system was programmed, my parents were supposed to just shut up, face the ground, and keep forward, which was public school. And by saying get on Ritalin, they knew that my parents couldn't afford. It was just, you have to deal with a trained professional, psychiatrist, psychologist, or therapist saying, you're a shitty parent. Why don't you try being a better fucking parent? Worst case scenario, I get mental help and I become a better student and they don't have to deal with me as much. So it became this revolving argument with teacher after teacher, guidance counselor after guidance counselor, assistant principals, real principals, or, the principal. And it was always, get Bobby on Ritalin or else we're going to have him expelled and you're going to have to deal with homeschool. You're going to have to deal with all this other shit and whatever. So my parents had this tall, skinny cupboard cabinet in between the fridge and the stove. And they used it for medication, but the bottom shelf was medication. The second, third, and fourth shelf was Ritalin. It was to the point where you would open the little door to go into the medicine cabinet or this medicine cupboard, and bottles of unopened Ritalin would just come falling on you. And, there was a lot. There was always, my mom would always push for the 100 count bottles, even though she would see the therapist once, but I'm running out and I need to get more pills. And the funny thing is that when I turned 18, and this happened from 4 years old all the way up to 18, there was Ritalin in the house. She wasn't like chopping it up and snorting it like you would think. She wasn't selling it to other people or adults like you think. It wasn't even getting used. Like 95% of the bottles still had the original seal. They still had the little cotton swab thing inside it, little cotton ball still inside it. It's just she obsessively asked for more Ritalin. And my grandma had a bunch of Ritalin prescriptions at my grandma's house in the Bay Area. My other grandma had buttload of prescription unopened bottles. She lived on the other side of the county. My grandparents bought a cabin up in the mountains, and there's a bunch of Ritalin bottles there too. And my mom just obsessively asked for Ritalin. And they gave it to her. And then I got assigned to take it 6 times a day to the point where I'm sleeping. Well, the closest thing to sleep is kind of like when you're in an emergency room and you kind of drift off, but then you hear somebody coming in, or you hear somebody screaming, or you hear the beeping of a machine, like, or better yet, your house is being fumigated and you're forced to hang out in the public library. So you're just kind of sitting in a chair and you're kind of nodding off, but then you're waking up going, oh, this is not the place to nod off. That's kind of how I was from 4 to about 14 when I finally left. I came and gone a few times because you're like, wait, you said 14 and 18, there's 4 years. There was a few years where there's a saying called fake it till you make it. and I would be homeless for about 6.5 days or even 5.5 days. And then I would go back to my parents' house. I would take a shower. I would eat a meal, get my laundry done, or just get new clothes, like cycle out 5 old shirts for 5 new shirts, and then go to a shrink, do the appointment, pretend like all is well. And then when we get to the parking lot, one of 2 things would happen. A, my mom would say something fucked up, get in the car, and peel out in front of me, thus abandoning me in the fucking Kaiser parking lot. I was going to say Kaiser Permanente. She would abandon me in Kaiser parking lot. Or B, which was the worst, she would insist that I get in the car because she's going to take me to McDonald's. And then when at McDonald's, she would abandon my ass at McDonald's. That one sucked because if it's at a hospital, it's at a hospital. It's not a big deal. You're in a big old parking lot, hospital surrounded by parking lot. You got cars. You could leave different angles. You're at a McDonald's, like everybody's focused on get out, do this, do that. You got more directional attention. So there are people who have come up in my life after my mom drops me off. And a lot of times what it would be is the doctor's appointment would be over. And I'd be like, okay, bye. I'm going to go pee and then leave. And then you leave, you go wherever. You ditch me all the time anyway. So I'm not going to go out to the parking lot with you. But I got to go pee, so leave me alone. Oh, come to McDonald's with me. So I would go to McDonald's. And I would be like, okay, well, I'm going to get out of the car and go into the bathroom. And then you're going to get out of the car and go inside. And then I'm done with the bathroom. I'll meet you in line. And then we both place our orders. We get our food. We sit down. We have a conversation. Then we part ways. Amicably, the way you're supposed to. The way a mother and a son should. Instead, it was, okay, well, I'll let you out here because the door to the bathroom is right here. And then I'll just swing around and park either in the back or on the other side. And then before I even got in, she's already around and down the street and up and over the freeway and all that shit. So the thing that sucks is that she's not dead yet. And I'm pretty sure she's subscribed to my YouTube channel, which will be fun. But that's also like my delusional mindset. They're like, hey, maybe they give a shit about you. In truth, over the last 25 years, I've had a stronger relationship with their answering machine. At least it picks up. We're at 23 minutes, right on. Last time I did this, I had one person that just watched like a creepy little fucking voyeur the whole time. And I kept trying to interact with them. And like, so what state are you from? So give me a topic to talk about. I don't know if I should be talking about cars or professional wrestling or the uses of gunpowder or, what do you want to talk about? Am I talking to, is this an old lady? Is this a guy my age? What are we dealing with here? They wouldn't answer, wouldn't say anything. And then a second person came in for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I got 2 people. Yeah. And I was like, hey, second person, what's up? Hey, what's up? And they're like, I got to go. Fuck you. So, tis what it is. I am learning. The hard way. I'm a Caucasian male who decided to come to YouTube and actually treat it somewhat more than just a joke in 2024 at the age of 41. Yeah, I expect to be grinding. I don't have tits. I don't do anything exciting. I barely do enough to fucking get through a day and call it a full day of work. I am homesteading. I collect Social Security and disability. It's born of a... No, this side. Yeah. There's a scar. scar right there. I was born with a tumor. I had 8% of my brain removed. So because of that, I get X amount of money from California. And then because I had 8% of my brain removed, and it's from the part that, is basically sit down, shut up, and learn as a kid, and I was forced to take all the Ritalin, that got me on Social Security. So now Baltimore, Maryland, or the United States of America, says, we'll give you a check also. So I got one check from California, which is disability, and that says that I could go anywhere I want. I could go in America, I could go live in the Philippines, I could live in Canada, I could live in Mexico, I could go wherever I want. Here's X amount of money. But then Maryland, or the United States of America, which is Social Security, says, well, no, that's not true. We'll match what you get, which is chump change in the end, because you're a Caucasian and a white male gets the least amount humanly possible. You should check that up, or check up on that. It's actually true. Sad, but true. And you're stuck to California. As a matter of fact, not only are you stuck to California, but what we want you to do is you're going to register, even though you're homeless, but you're going to register to a county. And then when you leave that county and you go to any other county in the United States of America, or even just California, you're going to re-register to that county as well. You're going to go into the Social Security office. You're going to deal with the caseworkers. You're not just going to change your address, but you're going to re-register. And then they're going to go through all the financial stuff, all the sales tax, all the land taxes, all da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then maybe I'll get 50 cents more. Maybe I'll get 50 cents less. Maybe the difference between Bakersfield and San Diego is literally 35 cents. But they want you to register to this county or that county. And then if I go to a state like, I don't know, Kansas, where I actually have a fighting chance, I lose everything because Kansas doesn't have Social Security. So why should you get Social Security if you live in Kansas? You made the choice to live in Kansas. Well, congratulations. We made the choice to take the Social Security away from you. And I've had a lot of people tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I go into the Social Security office and I literally get not just one, not just two caseworkers, but the manager or the boss of the caseworkers to be like, no, this is how it fucking is. And then I'm 5150. I'm a fucking mental case. So I'm supposed to have a representative payee. I will not be able to go to a psychiatrist because they don't fucking pay me enough to see the psychiatrist in the first place. So how is that even possible for you to be seeing the psychiatrist? But I will not be going or able to go to a psychiatrist to get the proper paperwork to say, no, I could become my own representative payee. I could worry about myself. I don't need a mother figure or father figure. I don't need an ex-girlfriend to pretend like she actually gives a shit about me anymore. I could deal with it on my own. No, that's not the kind of case that I am. It's kind of like red, green, blue. Oh, well, not red, blue. Red, yellow, green. You know, people get stopped at the gate. Boom, red light. That's what happens. You either do or you don't, red or green. But sometimes there's a yellow light. And sometimes the yellow means something completely different than what everybody else has been led to believe. And truth of the matter is, you know, and the caseworker even said it. She said it best when I lived in Merced County. She goes, the truth of the matter is, the government's paying you about $1,000 a month to shut up and live until you die. That's it. There's no hope for you. There's no Section 8. There's no housing authority. You could get a service dog because you're supposed to, but you're not going to get coupons. You're not going to get free vet visits. You're not going to get any of that shit. You know, yeah, you got fucking health care, but that's because you showed up in an ambulance. You don't show up in an ambulance, they're going to find a way to fuck you. And they're going to find a way to fuck you out of every single penny they possibly can. And of course, I go, no, that's not true. I get hit and run. I reject the ambulance, but I go to the hospital anyway. The ambulance drivers walk me in the front door. Nope, we're going to charge you still. You didn't show up by ambulance, we're still going to charge you. That's the health care that you have. And I know that there's going to be people, viewers is up here in this corner. I know that there's going to be people who are going to be like, no, I'm a social security myself, and that's not how it works. That's not how your social security works. My social security is different. Out of the 2.5 years of COVID, I got half of one stimulus check, $325. I looked it up online. It was the one stimulus check that was supposed to be $650 or $1,000 or whatever it was. It was the lowest of all the stimulus checks. I got half of it. When it came to food stamps, that everybody got all those food stamps. When they gave me my Social Security and my disability right off the bat, they said, hey, your food stamps is already incorporated within the number. So don't fucking fill out the paperwork. It's going to count as fraud. I said, okay. And then about 10 years later, they keep sending me paperwork and emails harassing me saying, hey, you're pre-approved. You're pre-approved. So I went to the food stamp office and I go, look, I get disability. I get Social Security. They told me this, and that. They go, yeah, we don't care. You're still pre-approved. Here's your food stamp card. Go away. What was it? $23 a month. And then on some bold, capitalize, highlight, and underline, some months throughout the 2.5 years of COVID-19, some of the months, I would receive an additional $230 of food stamps. Every month? Fuck no. Every other month? Not really. It was like literally maybe every 3 months. Sometimes it would skip around to every other month for like 1 or 2. And then it would go to like 2 or 3 months. And then it would go to every other month. Then it would go to like 4 months, like a 4-month gap. And so I didn't know if I had food stamps or not until I got up to the register. And I swipe and I look at the receipt and he goes, you have $230 of food stamps. And I'm like, holy shit. I could get beef jerky and energy drinks now. No, I kid. But, you know, when you live by yourself out in the desert, you do get a lot of beef jerky and you tend to get a little bit more hostess than them. There's like this little kid that's like, Mommy, can I have a Twinkie? And I'm getting mad because I can't find an unopened box of Twinkies. And it's like, yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have given me those food stamps. But then again, I could tell you, like, I bought at least one of every single kind of food comes in a can that you could find at an Albertsons. I tried every single kind of Stag chili, Denison's chili, Nally chili, Hormel chili, Wolf brand chili, Wolf Creek brand chili. I mean, I tried it all. I was like, shit, I should do this as a YouTube video, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, but chose not to, huh? Anyways, I don't have anything else to talk about. This book is, when the clip is on, it means there's nothing left to talk about. But I don't have nothing left to talk about. This whole thing was supposed to be me coming on here to just hang out with any one of you. Somebody's going to come on and go be like, what's the meaning of life? And I go, 42. And they're like, I watched The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy too. And I'm like, yeah, me too. You used to be my favorite movie. Oh, no shit. Yeah, I like that. And then there's a conversation. Or somebody comes on and it's like, hey, my favorite story, which is really sad, is, hey, I'm the baby of the family, my two older siblings got the fuck out. They didn't just get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. They went and got married, got pregnant, did everything in their power. They would rather live in a trailer park down the road than come on back and live in the guest house mansion. They hated my mom, and I had plans, and I was going to go do something in life, and family first, right? Family pride. So I gave up all my dreams, and here I am. I'm the aunt / uncle, and I get to deal with everybody else's kids and everybody else's marital problems, and I'm taking care of the mother and the father, and that's okay though, because we live in a gated community, right? Shit, never had a day without hot water, never had a day without food in the fridge or in the cupboards. So the baby of the family gives it all up, probably even forcefully goes to school to learn how to become an LVN or an RN or just a live-in technician of some kind that could help the parents, gives up all their dreams, and then poof, there goes the dad, and then a little bit more stress, and then poof, there goes the mom, and you're like, all right, well, now it's time for me to go live my life. What can I do? And you realize military doesn't want you after 27. College doesn't want you unless you got a shit ton of money that kind of, screw the grades, screw the academics. You're too old. We just want the money. You can't do anything. You've effectively wedged yourself between a rock and a hard place. And just when you think that it's just the wedge between the rock and the hard place, all of a sudden there's a knock. And there's the sheriff's deputy going, hey, the bank wants back the house because, as it turns out, your parents got a second and even a third mortgage on the house. And since they're dead, they're not able to pay back that mortgage. So the bank wants back the house. Go ahead and pack up all your shit. I'm going to give you 24 hours. And now you're homeless. And my whole thing originally was, and this is true, this is why I got the land. I talked to a lot of people that used to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, and it was right before COVID hit. And this was a reoccurring story that, they were the baby of the family, or they made the mistake of going into the medical career and not actually having a marriage or kids or a life. And so they were forced through peer pressure to take care of the family and the mom and dad specifically. And in the process of taking care of the mom and the dad, they pass on and everything should be okay. Now it's your turn to have your life. But, oh, that's right. The house has to be given back to the bank because it's on second mortgage. You saved up $8,000 for the funeral, and it turns out $8,000 was just the casket alone. You still got another $18,000 on top of that. Just all these things. And then you wind up homeless. You live in a car with your PhD or your bachelor's degree, but you're living in a car in a Walmart parking lot with the minimum wage. I need a fly swatter. There's a fly that just keeps landing on my knee. With minimum wage landscapers taking pictures of your license plates, jiggling your little handles to see if you lock the door, and just flat out harassing you more than the junior high and high school kids going to school that you would have thought would have been the ones harassing you in the first place. The worst possible place you could sleep at is a Walmart and or Planet Fitness parking lot, because they'll say, yes, you could sleep there to your face, but then they'll unleash their little, I call them hornets, because that's what they are. They're little hornets that buzz and they get in your shit. And when you swat one, they send out this little all call for everybody around to come and fuck with you directly. And that's what happens. I've seen people get permission from Walmart to sleep in the Walmart parking lot because they have this big old huge monster RV. And they go, hey, I'm way out there in the corner. And I just, I'm only here for the night. I promise. I don't want to cause any problems. And then within an hour, maybe it was an hour and a half, here comes this little asshole on a golf cart. And we're not talking about security guards. We're talking about landscapers, people who pick up trash. and they come in their little golf cart, their little orange light blinking on top, and they show up, and they'll park their golf cart in an authoritative situation as if they were cops. They don't park in the parking spot next to you, or, with respect. They park at this weird angle like they're cops. And they'll take pictures of your license plate, and they'll walk around the car, and they'll take pictures. They'll try to take pictures inside your vehicle. They'll try to jiggle your handle. And I saw one of them flat out pushing on the bumper to kind of, if somebody's in there, I'm going to shake them awake. And then you naturally get pissed off and you get out of your vehicle and you go, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then they push a little button on their walkie-talkie, and here comes the actual security guards. And then Walmart, being Walmart, they can't do anything by themselves. So then they preemptively hit another little button, which brings in the police department. And then you have, because it's Lancaster, California that we're talking about, we have Lancaster police, little trailers with these little telescopic pop-up poles that have like 3 or 4 cameras and a little blinking blue light on top. And all the little cameras go bzz, bzz, and then they zoom in, and all 3 cameras are now watching you. And it's like, I'm just trying to sleep in the parking lot. This is Walmart. I already got permission. Everything's fine. You're harassing me. And because I'm defending my property after getting permission to be here, now you're bringing in security. Now you're having the police show up. Now you're having the little police cameras focus in on me. And a lot of people, you're going to listen to this and be like, yeah, right. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way, okay? A can of spam, separated ham, spam, that's $2.59. In the state of California, it's locked away in a little plastic. Well, it's not little. It's actually an oversized plastic box. Because Walmart is so thief-heavy paranoid, that they think that thieves are going to steal cans of spam. The first part about this is they don't put their great value spam in a protective plastic box. Just spam is in a big old plastic container. You have to take it to the register. They have a little special magnet that then unlocks this lock, so you can then get into the container to get your can of spam out. Just like if you went to the pharmacy section and you got some Ritalin, you went to the pharmacy section and you got some Excedrin. They would have that little plastic case, and they open it up, they put the Excedrin inside, and they shut it, and they lock it. And you got to get to the register to get the magnet to unlock the damn case. That's what they're doing with spam. Ironically, that's what they tried doing with Red Bull. But the Red Bull... This was funny too, because they put a see-through plexiglass case on the shelf, and when you want Red Bull, you got to go and get somebody to then unlock the case. And it's more of like a cell phone case at a Dollar General, because you stick your key in and then turn it immediately, and then open the case from the bottom up, and then you just reach in and grab whatever. But then the guy delivering the Red Bulls got irritated, and everything that went into this case was also next to the case, just on the shelf. So instead of finding somebody, you just go next to the plastic case and you get the 4-pack of Red Bull anyway. Which I thought was funny. But then Red Bull magically disappeared from the Walmart for like a month, which was also funny because Walmart thinks that they can discipline people or businesses or whatever you want to call it. When I first moved here 2 years ago, the Little Debbie guy refused to deliver Little Debbies to the town. You couldn't go anywhere in town. You couldn't go to none of the gas stations. You couldn't go to the grocery store. There was no Little Debbies. It was fucking hilarious. It turned out that he was a one man on strike, holding out for more money. So he's like, "Fuck that town. I ain't going to the town." So California is a tonic. A tonic. A tonic, if used properly, can be helpful. It can even be healing. It could be enlightening. It could be spiritual almost. But at the same time, tonic could be snake oil. Could be water. A tonic, I mean, that's where you get the snake oil salesman, and that's just tonic water. You also can overindulge in a tonic and turn it into a poison. There's a reason why majority of America, if not the world, starts the fantasy with one day I'm going to go to Hollywood and make it big. Yeah, you're right. But here's the problem. Much like our president, you overstay your welcome, and then you become a product of the very machine that you thought that you can outsmart. Just like anybody who walks into a casino, just like anybody who gets lucky on a scratcher ticket, just like anybody who thinks that they could try a drug one time and then, I'm never going to get addicted. No, it's not designed like that. It's just designed, and California is designed to let you be comfortable enough to do what you want to do, but at the same time, allow you to realize you're going to pay for it. You're going to fucking pay for it. The news used to be a big deal. Back when I was a kid, especially before school, oh, look at all these old people over 100. It's their birthday and they turn 106 and they turn 104 and they turn 103. Nobody from California is ever on those news programs. Nobody in California is ever in the newspaper for being over 100 years old. My great-grandmother lived to be like 104, yes, and she lived in San Francisco out of all places, yes. But the reality is, yeah, we got Napa. And then if you don't want Napa Valley wine, but you want wine just as good, but priced lower, we got Lodi. If you want the projects, we got Los Angeles. But you don't want to die, we got Modesto and Stockton. But, we got Los Angeles or Oakland. Oh, you don't want to die? Okay, well, there's Stockton or Modesto. Do you want to have fun? Okay, well, we got Anaheim, because there's Disneyland. Oh, you want to have fun on the cheap? Well, you got Manteca for the water slides. Or you could go to Sacramento and go jet ski the Sacramento River. Or you could go to the beach. We got the snow. We got the sand. We got the sand in the desert. We got the sand on the beach. We got the high desert, the low desert, the snow, the cities, the suburbs, the country. We even got a part that they call Jefferson, which is way up north past Redding, California, where you swear to God, you're not in fucking California anymore. You think you're like Wyoming or something. Damn, missed that fly. But you got it all. Here's the problem. According to a little birdie, the state tax went up again. I think it's at either 12 or 14%. So now, when you go to the store and you pay 99 cents for that one can of Arizona iced tea that says 99 cents on the can, you're going to pay you got to pay CRV on top of the tax. So yeah, now you're going to pay more. On top of that, this state, California in particular, is famous for the Arizona iced tea scam, where you'll notice that some Arizona iced tea flavors will have 99 cents MSRP printed on the side of the can, whereas a good 2/3 of their flavor variety does not have 99 cents printed on the can. Well, in my town, in Rosemont, you can find every flavor of Arizona iced tea that they have except for the ones with 99 cents printed on the bottle. Same thing with the 7-Up Dr. Pepper company. You can find 7-Up. Hell, you can find Cherry 7-Up. You know what you can't find? Sunkist. They have Sunkist, but all Sunkist products will say 99 cents MSRP on the bottle. Even Tahiti Treat, which is like Tiki Punch, but their version, that has 99 cents printed on the bottle. That's something you will not find. That is something you genuinely have to look for. So, and then, you got people who, let's say you get off a plane. What airport doesn't have a bus system? Seriously. And then, let's look at like professional wrestler or professional sports, like athlete of any kind. Okay, well, you fly into the town and then you take either a taxi or a city bus to get from the airport to your hotel, and then you go to the arena, then you go back to the hotel, and then you go back to the airport. Why the fuck are you renting a car? And on top of that, why the fuck are you renting a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or some of these more expensive cars? So you can show off? And then you look at who has the most expensive rental prices. California. Why? Because they only rent out exotic cars. And a lot of people might be laughing right now. I dare you to go to Hertz in Los Angeles. Get off and a plane flight, Los Angeles International Airport. You hop on the shuttle. It drops you off at Hertz Rent-A-Car like 3 blocks away. And you say, I want the cheapest fucking car they have. And they start to giggle. And they say, well, we could transfer one from like Long Beach, which is going to take about 3 hours, even though it's a 30-minute drive. Or you could pay a little bit more and you could get this Corvette. And it's like, really? A fucking Corvette? Okay. I want a rental car and you're going to rent me a Corvette. Okay. But that's how California is. I mean, start at the most expensive and then laugh at the customer more and more as they go down to what they genuinely want or need. I walk into Best Buy and I bought this laptop I'm recording on right now. I walk into Best Buy. Hi, how you doing? Oh my God, it's great to see you. You're my best friend. I just can't remember your name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. I swear to God. How are you? Wow, it's so good to see you. And I say, hey, I'm looking for a laptop. Of course you're fucking looking for a laptop. That's one of the most expensive things we sell. Welcome to Best Buy. Okay. I basically just want a laptop that is the equivalent of a yellow pad of legal paper. I don't want to write because I don't like writing. My hands cramp up a little bit. And I want to get a laptop version of yellow pad legal paper. And they immediately go from, oh, so like, what's your budget? Well, I would like to have my budget be about $200 or less. I would like to get one of the 3 cheapest laptops you have in the store. And, that's what I'm figuring. Oh. You might want to go talk to Steve over there. He might know how to help you. That guy over there on the phone. Yeah, the guy who's on the clock, on the phone, clearly on a personal call. Yeah, go talk to him. And then you go to Steve, and they're like, hi, welcome to Best Buy. Oh, you want a really cheap laptop? Okay. Well, you see where Mark's at over there? Yeah, okay. So where Mark is basically where you're going to go. But then you're going to see a brown box. Yeah, it's going to be like somewhere around that brown box, okay? Okay. And then before you could say, what the fuck did you just say? That dude's gone. Dave is gone. So now you're looking for some new dude named Mark. Mark. Which one's Mark? I'm sorry that all 4 of you employees are on the clock right now when you're having a private conversation and whatnot. But like, who the fuck is Mark? I'm looking for a laptop. Yeah. It's that one that's right there on the ground. The one that you walk past, that little pyramid, the pyramid of cardboard boxes that has no pictures. They're just rectangular cardboard boxes. As a matter of fact, I thought they had keyboards inside them because they look like boxes that you would get if you were to buy a really cheap keyboard, I guess. And he's like, yeah, those are that one right there. And then as I walk away, they start giggling. Like I walked out of the bathroom and there's toilet paper hanging from my ass or something. And it's like, I didn't grow up with fucking computers and shit. I don't know computers. I know that I write and I can do creative stories and I use pieces of paper. And I know a laptop is an upgrade from a pad of paper. And so therefore, I want to get a laptop, which is effectively a pad of paper, but an upgrade. I don't know shit. Maybe 3 months down the line, I might go, hey, I want to play Minecraft, and they're like, oh, this laptop doesn't work for Minecraft, but you need to buy this other one. Okay, cool. But right now, just let me figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Be helpful. Don't be a dick. And you'll get that a lot in California if you come here to California. That's the long and the short. In reality, I'm trying to kill an hour. Live, 56 and a half. I'm trying to get to 1 hour. And I don't want to be like, because that dead time. I am 3 minutes from done, and I want to get my Mountain Dew because I'm thirsty. And I like Mountain Dew Code Red because it's the best flavor that they've ever come up with. And I don't get heartburn, surprisingly. And ironically, there is no Diet Mountain Dew Code Red. There is no sugar-free or zero sugar Code Red. There's just Code Red. It's like one of the only Mountain Dew flavors where it's just left alone. Yeah. And then, ironically, like, I can get fucking heartburn off of chugging a bottle of water. I can get heartburn from chugging milk. It's just the act of chugging that gets me heartburn, I guess. And not Mountain Dew Code Red. Not for a lot of years. I mean, there's times I wake up with a migraine, drinking Mountain Dew Code Red. It's like Robitussin, but not Robitussin. I mean, I drink regular Mountain Dew. I get like 2 heartburns per can. I drink Mountain Dew Diet. It's all right. Don't taste like much, but it's all right. It's I drink the Baja Blast. I drink this one, that one, the other, whatever. Sometimes it's like too inky or too sugary. I'm like, I can't handle this. I don't want to drink the whole can. I'm getting old. I understand how old people think now. Especially when you're a kid, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get that shit to me, dude. I'll drink it. Now it's like 41. I'm like, I am not interested in drinking any more of this, whatever this is, liquid-wise. I am now going to throw it away. So, yay, personal growth. Anyway, I know that I deliberately went from here to here to here to here to I am, and I do think, and I have always thought, similar to bubbles in a glass. You have a glass, you have a can of soda. You open the can of soda, you pour it into the glass. Now, all you have to do is get one bubble from the bottom of the glass all the way up to the top of the glass and go 1, 2, 3, and then pop. But you can't do that. That's not how carbonation works. The bubble pops halfway. The bubble combines with another bubble. The bubble kind of just deflates. The bubble pops immediately upon touching the surface. The bubble goes up your nose. The bubble tickles your mustache. That's how I think. That's how my mind works. I've tried so hard to do so many different exercises and brain training exercises to just be like, we are going to count to 100 using just ones and going forward, gradually building up. I can't do that. I am 1, 5, 3, 99, back to the 2, over to the 97. Did I say 4 yet? Okay, 4. Now we're going to go to 37. Then we're going to go to 51. Then we're going to go to 22. I'll get to 100 eventually. I'm saying 100 different numbers. It's not like I'm repeating myself. Some people count to 100 by twos, by fives, by tens, by 20s, 25s. Some people count to 100 the way I just explained it, where you're just bouncing all over the place. Hell, I've practiced my whole life saying the alphabet backwards in case some random cop thinks that I'm drunk. The problem is that, you gotta have the fucked up eyes and breathe, breathalyzer. So it's like, what's the point of knowing the alphabet backwards? But every once in a while, I do say it backwards, just to brush up on it. You never know. I'm a weirdo. I acknowledge these moments. I am also a product of what happens when you isolate yourself from like everything for 5 years. And you just live on your own island in your own little bubble, your own little vacuum, and you just isolate. You isolate. Your best friend is your dog, and your other best friend is Facebook, and your third best friend is your right hand. I mean, I am literally starting all over. I've never been married. Yeah. Start all over from scratch. See what happens. See where it gets you. Who knows? Maybe some random chick will come along and be like, "Hey, you're just tolerable enough to be around." Holy shit. Holy shit. As long as, see, okay, I'm shooting for like a 4, a 5, or a 6 in life. Okay. I don't want somebody that gets in a vehicle and turns it into a lowrider. So I have like a 200 to 250 pound weight limit. And then I don't want a beanpole who's playing with Mrs. Potato Head's body parts. There's a lot of them out there. And they're just these tiny little bean poles with a big fat ass. And then a tiny little bean pole with fake tits. And a tiny little bean pole with fake lips. And you're looking at it and they're like, aren't I pretty? Don't I check all the boxes? And you're like, you might check all the boxes, but pretty is the last thing on earth you are. You're Frankenstein, or at least just monster. You're a chimera, literally by definition. You are a chimera. You're a whole lot of a different algorithm. No, just no. So I think that's why a lot of people, my friends' wives, is like, don't you like Mercedes Moné? And I'm like, no, hell no. That's another one. Alicia Edwards. There's a second professional wrestler right there, female professional wrestler. Skinny little thing, cuter than cute. Had to go fuck it all up with plastic. Doesn't make sense. It's gross. No. Besides, give me a chick that could whoop my ass in Monopoly, and I'll show you who I genuinely want. Like, that's it. That's it. You're going to spend 6 hours playing strategy and manipulation and money and rolling the dice and landing and no. Yeah, give me that. Give me that. She followed through from start to finish. She was committed. There's like 1,000 different positive things that could come from that. Like 2 negative things that I could think of. Anyway, we're at 1 hour. This is where my timer is. 1 hour, 4 minutes, 52 seconds. This is for harm. Anyway, I don't want to talk anymore. It is 4:25 on a Saturday afternoon. Today is Saturday the 17th of August. think I'm gonna play with my chickens. Yeah, that's another thing that I get with my neighbors. They're like in their 60s and they know everything that there is to know about everything, even though they start off the conversation with, I don't know jack shit. But then within half of a breath, all of a sudden they have all this information. They know everything there is to know, but they don't understand, even though they never had chickens before, they don't know what grit is. They don't understand that grit comes in the chick starter feed already, and I don't need to get grit. Not to mention where I live, I'm on 3 acres of grit. Chickens can eat houseflies and horseflies. As a matter of fact, baby chicks, like day-old chicks, well, they're about a week old now, they will turn into little baby velociraptors and fight each other over a fly, and they'll chase each other down until the one with the fly actually swallows the fly. It's kind of funny to watch. If you're going to be getting eggs from a chicken, that means that you're going to be touching the chicken. That means that the chicken can potentially touch you. If you associate with them at a very young age and they know that, hey, that's the master, that's dad, that's Bobby, that's the farmer, that's whoever, he's not going to hurt me, he's never hurt me before, then they're not going to peck at me, they're not going to go ape shit when I go to get their eggs. So for me to play with them as babies and for me to associate with them and to hold them and to kind of watch TV with them sitting on me, cuddling with me, that's a good thing, because later in life I'll be able to get the eggs easier. But when I talk to the people that live on my property, they're like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Yes, it does. What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe you didn't hear me properly, but that absolutely makes sense. So it's one of those random things. People don't want to hear what I have to say because I'm 20 years younger than them, but I'm going to continue to speak because it's my land, my rules, and I do the research to know what shit I'm talking about before I start talking shit. That's what you're supposed to do. So I just thought it was funny the way it was. I just make this conversation like, yeah, I'm gonna go play with my chickens, whatever, no big deal. And what? No, why would you do that? Oh my god. Okay. So, anyways, love, peace, chicken grease. They're egg layers and they're babies. I gotta wait like fucking 6 months anyway. But egg. I like chicken. I'm not planning on fucking killing them anytime soon. I think I could do it. I could do it. Anyway, love, peace, of chicken grease. I'm out of here. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. Not yet? No, end. That's why I clicked end stream.